What's going on, guys? Tony Ivanov here with another video lesson, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the two trades I placed today that made me a total of $506. One trade was the main winner. It was on DRIO. Placed 1,000 shares at 194, sold at 240. That made me around $441. The second trade was a smaller trade, a much quicker trade on IPWR, 700 shares, 223 out 234, made around $65 to make a grand total of $506 on the day. Very nice profits on my small account. So I'm gonna talk about those two trades in a minute. If you're new to my channel, I give away $25 every single day to a random commenter on the previous video. So if you want to get a chance on winning 25 bucks, leave a comment down below, smash that like button, and also hit that subscribe button as well, so then you're notified whenever I make a new video. So I'm just gonna do that right now. Give me 1 second. I forgot to load up the YouTube URL. I'll just do it over here. So yeah, the market today, I was right in my last video where I said that the blockchain news isn't gonna have as much like momentum behind it. That happened today with IGC, I believe it was. We'll see in a second. See who the winner is. Chan Smith, love these videos. I'm glad you watch them, Chan. Congratulations on winning 25 bucks. Let me just get his email popped in. Alright, so there's the 25 bucks and it's sent to Chan. Congratulations, Chan. Like I said, if you want to get a chance, leave a comment down below, hit that like button, and also smash that subscribe button as well. And also watch this whole video because there's a bunch of free content that you can gain and possibly make your own trades and make your own money with this knowledge. A bunch of people already do. I get a lot of comments that they tell me that the videos are very helpful, so I'm glad I could provide value to you guys. So let's just bring up my pre-market watch list. If you want to view my watch list, I put it out every single morning in pre-market. Just go to my website and go to the blog. There's a link down below for it. So the best crypto stocks to watch today, the one that had news was NVFY. Had a quick pop. Let's just pull this up real fast. NVFY had a really big spike pre-market. I missed it. I didn't see it. I wasn't up early enough. It happened 10 minutes like prior to me waking up. Spiked up, not huge. As you can tell, each of these blockchain spikes are getting weaker and weaker. This one only spiked up 29% and it faded all the way back down. What's happening is that these companies are really taking advantage of this news. So NVFY, its news was that it's making a community based on blockchain technology, but it doesn't really go into what they mean by based on blockchain technology. People are really confused on what it means to make a community based on blockchain, and they didn't really have any real information about it. So because of that, the news didn't really go that far at all. Whereas on the previous weeks, we've been having blockchain acquisitions, and those are much bigger news, because when a company has a blockchain acquisition, that means it's taken over a whole company that deals solely with blockchain. So that makes the price run up a bunch more. There's more demand for the company because of the whole blockchain hype. Now all these companies are just taking pure advantage of this hype and putting out whatever press release they can that just has the word blockchain, and they hope that people are going to buy it up. And the more that happens, the less it's going to work. So like we saw yesterday on the stocks that we were watching, I forgot the names already. You can watch yesterday's video lesson. I talk all about it. Now these news releases are crashing faster and faster. They're not holding their gains nearly as well as they were last week. So keep that in mind. If you're still looking to trade the blockchain type news, just be careful. Make sure you read past the headline and see exactly what they're talking about. If they have like an acquisition, then it'll likely run further. But if they just have the word blockchain in it with no real background to it, be cautious and be wary, because it'll likely not spike, as we saw in NVFY. So NVFY faded all day, didn't trade it. TEUM was another one on my watch list. This was running yesterday because they had news yesterday of adding blockchain, the payments onto their systems. So it had a pretty big spike at the low ones, mid ones. It spiked up to the threes pre-market this morning, but then of course the blockchain news hasn't been running as hard, so it faded all day. Couldn't really find any support, just kept breaking down. So keep note, take this into note, that the blockchain news isn't working as well, so we have to revert back to our previous tactics of just looking for whatever good news there is and buying those pre-market breakouts that work so well. So that's what I did on DRIO. DRIO popped up on my trade ideas the screeners, because it was breaking out to new highs, and when I caught it, it was down here. Let me actually bring up trade ideas. If you join my mentorship program, I will give you my trade ideas preset scanners, so you don't even have to worry about making all these different settings and stuff like that. You can just copy and paste mine and be set to go, and you'll really just get the same exact alerts that I do, which is pretty awesome. So let me just bring up let me load these. So here's one of the windows I have on trade ideas, and we're just gonna let this load and look for DRIO. So there's in the 250s, before that. Okay, so here's when it started popping up at 6:34 a.m. at 190. That's when I first saw it. The first thing that I noticed is that it was low priced in my price range of around $1 to $2. It had low volume, had a pretty low float, and it was moving up pretty rapidly on low volume. So right when I saw this, I typed it in E-Trade, and I had my news module up, and right when I typed in DRIO, I saw that they had another patent. So I was like, okay, boom, patent news, it's low float, nothing else is really moving on the market, and it's breaking out. So I jumped in with 1,000 shares at 194. It was just around in the, oops, did not mean to do that. It was just around in this level, mainly because we had this breakout at 186. It is kind of chasing, but the reason why we chose this stock, and I was pretty confident that here was going to be the run, is because there was nothing else really running this morning. There was Watt, but that's really high price. I didn't want to trade that, and yeah, the scanners were pretty dead except for this one. So my thesis was that, okay, well, if they get in low when it still has less than 100,000 shares traded on the day, it's going to keep popping up on the trade ideas scanners, and the late traders are going to pile in, buy higher than me, drive the price up, and then I can sell into the spike. So that's what my thesis is with these morning spikes. You have to be early, you have to be first, but you also have to make sure that you're not buying something that no one's going to be looking at. You don't want to buy some random stock that has 20,000 shares traded, where it has a big float and it just has a random spike on no news. This one is good because, yeah, it is kind of a random spike, but it has a background to it. It had that news event. It got that patent news, which gives it that credibility, and that it basically lets the traders throw their money at it because they know that it's going to bring in other traders. And the main thing with trading these morning spikes is that you just want to be in first, and you want to take advantage of the late traders who buy late after you, the chasers, people who use their emotions with the trading. You want to use them to your advantage and buy before them and sell before them. So that's exactly what I did. I recognized that, okay, this was breaking out. It had really no movement pre-market, so that's good. So basically it's breaking out of pre-market highs. The daily chart, let me see the daily chart. The daily chart has history of having big spikes, but you can also notice that those spikes never hold their gains. So you have to think, okay, if it doesn't hold its gains, that means it's just a quick morning spike and then just falls right back down. So you don't want to hold it all day. So back to the daily chart, or the intraday chart, I basically just bought 194, 1,000 shares, and in this area I was noticing that one, it was popping out of it was popping outside of the Bollinger Bands, and it had these very long top wicks. I actually sold in this first wick. I placed a limit order at the $2.40 area, and then it popped even higher, hit the 270s, which was kind of not the best trade on me, but I locked in my profits, which is great because immediately afterwards it just fell right back down and faded all day. Didn't do anything whatsoever. So the second trade I placed was on where's my snipping tool, was on IPWR. This was a midday trade. This was around right here, I believe I traded it. When did I trade this? Yeah, it was right here where I traded it. 223. I was buying. This was a bit more of a chase, but the reason why I traded this is because I had leftover funds. I had around $1,800 left over that I could trade with, and I really wanted to pass that $500 mark. I know it sounds kind of weird. I could have just saved that money until tomorrow and had a better trade, but I really wanted to pass that $500 mark on the day because that's a nice little goal for me. So I bought the breakout of 220. The reason why I bought this breakout is because this was the breakout over yesterday's highs. If you look at the daily chart over here at the top right corner, you can see yesterday it topped out at 220 exactly. So you can see obviously that level of resistance is real, because this candle also topped out at 220. So I took note of that immediately, and then once we broke over that 220, I took a position, 700 shares. I got executed at around $2.24, and I was aiming for quick profits on this one. I did not want to hold this one for very long because I didn't want to lose my gains from DRIO. I was just adding to my win. So I aimed for my small profits, sold at like a 10-cent per share gain, and you can see sold way too soon. It hit a high of 285, so I could have actually made another 400 bucks on this trade if I held longer. No big deal. I'm glad I locked in my profits because afterwards faded down to all the way down to 210 later on in the day. So you win big, sometimes you lose small. Well, you should always lose small, always cut your losses. Basically you're never always going to have a big win, and you have to be okay with that. You can't always aim for big wins. You have to be comfortable with having those small consistent profits. If you watched my channel a month ago, I was aiming for $100 per day, but now because my account has scaled up, I'm able to aim for those bigger winners because now I have more money to risk. When you start out with $3,000, you really want to aim to not lose any money, and if you do lose money, cut that loss very, very, very fast, which means that all you want to do is aim for those small, easy wins. Build up that small account until you have around $6,000, and then you have more money to play with, and then you can aim for those bigger wins and larger percent gainers. That's how I would grow my small account, and that's how I've been growing my small accounts. You can do it differently, of course, but that's just what I teach my traders in my program. So yeah, that's basically what I did today. Very, very, very nice trades, and I'm hoping to end this year on the green notes. So tomorrow I'm going to be kind of conservative with my trades, and that's basically it. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and also leave a subscription. If you have any requests on future videos, leave them down below, and I'll be happy to help you all out. If you want to join my mentorship program, it's the first link down below. I highly recommend you check it out because I have holiday pricing, $123 a month for 3 months, and you get lifetime access. That will be gone New Year's Day. So if you want to get in now, lock it in. And yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.